To the review session for the Biology SOL. Today we're going to cover the topics of cellular respiration and photosynthesis. First thing that's very important to understand is that cellular respiration and photosynthesis work together in a cycle. The reactants of one are the products of the other. Photosynthesis is when plants use the energy of sunlight to convert water and carbon dioxide into high-energy carbohydrates and oxygen. The carbohydrates that it typically converts them into is glucose, and oxygen is the waste product which we breathe in. The chemical equation for photosynthesis is as follows. Chlorophyll uses the sun's energy as well as the reactants of carbon dioxide and water to produce sugars and oxygen. The first two steps of photosynthesis take place in the chloroplasts. This first step is the light-dependent reactions, and these take place in the thylakoids. The second steps, which are the light-independent reactions, take place in the stroma. The electron transport chain that is part of the light-dependent reactions allows the plant to create ATP and NADPH, which are crucial to the light-independent phase of photosynthesis. The ATP and NADPH created by the light-dependent phase is eventually used in the process of creating glucose. Glucose would be the end product of photosynthesis. However, since it is a cycle, the end products end up being the reactants of another phase. The second thing that we're going to talk about today is cellular respiration. It is defined by the process in which plants or animals use their mitochondria to break down food molecules into ATP. This process takes organic energy such as glucose or another monosaccharide and changes it into usable inorganic energy such as ATP. The chemical equation is as follows. Glucose and oxygen, which are the products of photosynthesis, are used to create carbon dioxide, water, and energy in the form of ATP. Cellular respiration is split up into three phases. The first phase of cellular respiration does not require oxygen, and it is known as glycolysis. The second phase of cellular respiration does require oxygen and is known as the citric acid or Krebs cycle. The final stage of cellular respiration, known as oxidative phosphorylation, also requires oxygen. Glycolysis does not require oxygen and uses a set of enzymes in the cytoplasm to take glucose and convert it into pyruvic acid. The second phase of cellular respiration is known as the citric acid or Krebs cycle, and it takes the pyruvic acid created in glycolysis to release carbon dioxide, water, and ATP. The final stage of cellular respiration is known as oxidative phosphorylation. This is the process by which ATP is formed as a result of the transfer of electrons from NADH and FADH2 to oxygen by a series of electron carriers. In some cases, organisms do not have oxygen available after they go through the first step of cellular respiration known as glycolysis. If this is the case, organisms must use the process of fermentation, which does not require oxygen, as the second step of cellular respiration. There are two types of fermentation: lactic acid and alcoholic.